Hello. A long time ago, you might remember I promised you a review of Castle McCullers' The Heart is a Lonely Hunter and said I had already filmed it. I deleted that before I uploaded it, logic. So I never got around to filming another one until now. Apologies, but here it is. Basically, I adored this book. It was amazing. It's not the easiest read, I'm not going to lie and say, you know, it's a really enjoyable read, because it's not necessarily. It's the kind of read that makes you think. If you like stuff that sort of changes your perceptions and makes you think about stuff and humankind and things like that, then this is definitely for you. It's gorgeous. I have to say, I've got the Modern Classics edition and I just love everything about this book. I don't know why, because it's not a specifically beautiful book, but it just, I like the cover, I like the feel of it, it's really smooth, I just love looking at it. I mean, I just love it. Like, this is a thing. Basically, if you don't know what it's about a man who, well, he's a deaf mute, so he can't sort of interact with people around him. In the beginning, he has got a friend who is also a deaf mute, and they sort of sign language to each other, but his friend has to go away or get sent away. And he's completely on his own in this town where nobody can read sign language, so he has literally, other than writing bits and stuff down, he has no way to interact with these people. And it's mainly, I mean, although the story is predominantly about him, I think, for me, I found it was more about the way people reacted to him and the way people very much gave him sort of godlike sort of powers and put him in a position of authority almost, even though he you know, had no say in what their opinion of him was, and it had no base on fact. They just kind of, they made him what they wanted him to be because they could. It's predominantly 4 people in the town. There is a young girl, a bartender, a black man, and a drunk, who all sort of go and see him and talk at him, not to him, because, you know, they just talk at him. They tell him their hopes, their dreams, their desires and everything like that. And it just is a really beautiful, well-written book. Castle McCullers was 23 when she wrote this, and I am 23 now. I don't know whether that had something to do with me liking it so much, but I mean, for a 23-year-old, this is just spectacular, and I'm definitely going to pick up more of her stuff, although obviously this is her most well-known sort of work, so I don't know whether the others will be quite the same, but we shall see. And I loved it. Like, there's stuff in there that is just really touching. One thing in particular, obviously it's in the 1940s in Southern America, so sort of the black man, there's obviously a lot of race issues going on still, and there's one scene where he's, because it's not always them with the mute, like, we follow their lives as well, and there's one scene where he's with his family, and I think it's his dad or his granddad says, you know, if I could wish for one thing, I would wish to be white. And at the time I read that, and I was like, what an idiot, you know, what a horrible man. But actually, if you take into consideration how black people were treated at that time and what was going on, you can completely sympathise with the fact that he wanted him and his family to be white so that they could live a normal life and not have this persecution against them all the time, and that's really touching. There's also the running theme in this of sort of there being a greater purpose and a truth, and each person thinks they know the truth and nobody else knows it, and I think that is very true. It's basically a lot about how solitary we are as humans, and I think that, you know, as much as we like to think we understand each other, we're all living our own lives in our heads, and we all have our own idea of what life is, and we can never fully show that to another person, which is just lovely. I would say if you liked something like Revolutionary Road by Richard Yates, you would like this. It's, again, it's not an enjoyable read. Like, it's not a happy, woo, I enjoyed that. It's a, my goodness, that changed my life kind of read. And it's pretty depressing. Like, that's what I say about Revolutionary Road. It has the same theme of, you know, everything is pointless. Which I do enjoy in a book, I do. But yes, I would recommend it. I would just say everybody in the world needs to read this book, because it's just... Bye!